So most of us are obviously, well, not most of us, we're all coming into the end of the year, aren't we? Retail and restaurants, it's a really busy time of the year. It's where you kind of, a lot of retail in particular, this is the crucial time of the year where you make their money or close the doors in January. So it's a crucial time for all of us, and in Chester, where our head office is now, it's a busy period for us. We're kind of working up to Christmas bookings in our restaurant, which is Dodo, and then our quick service, which is Walk and Go. That stays busy pretty much throughout the year, but we've obviously having Christmas market that's starting, I think, the end of this week. You're going to get a lot more footfall in, so we've got one literally directly outside. It's a busy time for everyone. It's a crucial time for retail, crucial time for restaurant. Like I said, if you don't make your money in this period, then January takes a bit of a nosedive for all of us. And traditionally, it's when a lot of businesses close their doors. They kind of hang on in to get through the Christmas period to try and get that extra bit of money. And it's the time when landlords get squeaky bums as well, because they know it's that time of year where those businesses that are struggling will see out the Christmas period and then they close their doors in January. It can actually even create some possibilities for you going into January, because for us, we're in a reasonable position. We're not terribly dependent upon the Christmas period for our business, but it's all obviously a big boost for us. But it also means you go into January knowing full well that there are competitors that have closed. There are opportunities to look for new sites. So there's a silver lining for us coming into that period as well, because we struggle finding suitable premises. So for us, Christmas market is a bit of a double-edged sword with us. It obviously attracts and brings in more people into the city, but it also brings in more direct competition as well, and it is literally on our doorstep. I mean, if you looked out our front window, the market is right in front of us. It would be interesting this year, because last year in the location that we had a different offering. It was like burritos and tacos, and we had direct competition there were people selling that type of food directly outside our door. And also Walk and Go obviously sells noodles. Again, there was a stall that was selling noodles there. So you don't necessarily see a significant increase because of the market. It is a double-edged sword. We're selling pizzas this time, and I don't believe I've ever seen a pizza stall out there, so I think we should benefit from that. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's the same when you have race days in town. People automatically assume more footfall is going to lead to more sales, and it doesn't necessarily equate to that. People come into town for a reason quite often, and sometimes their head is down. If they're on shopping mode, it's head down, get the shopping done, particularly men. Walk straight past, get the shopping done, straight out of town. Closer to Christmas, people do tend to linger a little bit longer. Late nights kick in, so we do tend to see a bit of an uplift in sales over that period. So one of the things that people, particularly in the restaurant trade, but also retailers as well, is they make the mistake, certainly in restaurants, of trying to put too many offers on over this period. It's almost desperation. It's a key mistake where people will throw their offers on trying to make themselves busier, and all they end up doing is actually discounting the trade that would have come through their doors anyway. So it's you have to be really careful over that period on not putting too many offers on. I know there's a temptation to do it, and it's not historically the same as it used to be. That sales, you used to have your January sales. January sales is almost like it's non-existent now. It's a carryover of sales from November and December. You've got your Black Friday fast approaching. That's the kickoff of all the sales. it's kind of forced everyone into this scenario where they're bringing their sales forward, which I think is just exasperating the issues that are on the retail high street now, and the same for restaurants, because restaurants are responding in the same way. They're discounting over a period that traditionally they wouldn't have done that. They would have been busy enough. But I think all that does is exasperate the issue on the high street, and that's why you're seeing so many places closing in January now, because they can no longer rely on the January sales to push people through their retails and their restaurants like they used to, because it's already happened. It's happened in November and December. There's nothing there now for January. The reality is somewhat different from the expectation. So if you're not expecting to work hard in a business just because it's a franchise and it's got all the model worked out for you, then you're going to be very much mistaken and disappointed. You're still going to have to work hard, you're still going to have to deal with staff, you're still going to have to deal with problems, you're still going to have to deal with maintenance. And expectation of not having any of that is just unrealistic and not going to happen.